Hello and welcome to our senior project final presentation from the fall 2023. The name of our app is Customization of the Nextcloud iOS app. The team members are Ana Ruiz Arbolella, Janet Cueto, Julio Padron Bauta, and Shadrach Sinias. The product owner and professor was Masood Sajjadi, and we're all part of the School of Computer and Information Sciences from Florida International University. The day of our final presentation would be at FIU campus on December 1st in 2023. The first thing that we want to discuss is the problem definition. The problem definition of our entire project was that there was no way of changing the thing from our applications from our iPhones. There are a couple of things options available for the user on the desktop application, but there was not a mobile app application that would change the background color, the background image, app logo, and app slogan. We also wanted to help our users and non-users to be able to customize their application without the need to be logged into their current account and without having to call any server or have any database involved in any of this. Our project management. The first thing that we did was the project initialization, which lasted 2 weeks. It was from the beginning of the semester until 11th of September. Then we required all of the things that we needed in order to succeed in our application, which lasted a whole week. Then we did the system design from September 18th to the October 2nd for the remainder of 2 weeks. Then we started working on the implementation from the 2nd of October until the very end of October. This was the one that took us the longest because this is where all the development was happening. It lasted a couple of 4 weeks. And then lastly, but not least, we had the performance testing, which is all the code cleanup and making sure that everything was working correctly, which lasted 2 weeks. Our methodology. During the first sprint, we focused mainly on meeting with the product owner, setting up our development environment, learning the required technologies to be able to successfully build an application, and creating a GitHub repo. During the second sprint, we discussed the possible solutions that were presented to a problem. We also finished up setting the development environment. During the third sprint, we began development, focusing mainly on the backend logic of the app, creating file bridges between Objective-C and Swift files. During the fourth sprint, we continued working on development for both front-end and back-end, and created testing branches. For the fifth sprint, we finalized the UI front-end design after meeting with a couple other teams that were working on the same thing, but for Android and Linux. On the sixth sprint, we did code testing and debugging, making sure that the entire application was building correctly without overriding anybody's code. During the seventh sprint, we worked on the final deliverable documentation, which included videos, poster presentation, and final gatherings of the GitHub repo. Requirements. This would be our user stories. For user story number 1, we had that as a developer, we wanted to conduct research that it was vital for our development to be able to understand and set up correctly the development environment. As a second story, we had that as a developer, we wanted to make a button on the login screen for both users and non-users to be able to click on and be redirected to another screen where the whole customization of the login screen would be achieved. For the story number 3, we had as a user, we want to be able to customize the background color for the login screen of the app. For story number 4, we have as a user, I want to be able to customize the background image of our login screen without having a picture from our personal device. From user story 5, we had that as a user, we want to be able to customize the logo from the login screen of our app. For the 6, we have that as a user, we want to be able to customize the slogan of our login screen. And for the 7, we have as a developer, we want to make sure that our code is clean and the app behaves as is expected with all the features working together. The software and hardware that we use. So we use Xcode in order to write all of the code that is involved with our program. We use GitHub in order to create GitHub repo and also to do pull and push code and merge branches. We use our Mac terminal to handle all of the dependencies that were involved in this project, such as some word cartage and some other words through the iOS platform XS framework. The language that we use throughout the applications were Swift and Objective-C. Here's to our system design. It's pretty simple. So here in the first picture, we have our front end, which would be the NC login, which is the file where the NC login architecture is sitting on. And the NC login will be directly interacting with ThemeView controller, which is the other storyboard and files that we created that will be customizing the NC login screen. So for the image, we had to create an image manager that will be stored in the user's phone in order to be able to upload it to our project. More images of this will be shown later to be able to understand this picture. Here on the right-hand side, we have our login screen, we have the user interacting with the customized login screen, and then these are all the components that the user is able to change. We have the app logo, we have the background image, the app slogan, and the app color. This is our UML class diagram. As you can see here, we have another view of our two most important files throughout the entire project. We have the NC login and we have the ThemeView controller. As you can see, the NC login is pretty extensive since we were building from an existing application that was not developed by students. It was developed by actual engineers. And then we were able to handle all of the things interacting with the ThemeView controller. So everything that was happening in the ThemeView controller were not actually changing in the ThemeView controller. They were sending back a response to NC login, depending on what the user wanted to be able to show on that screen. We also have here the image manager that is interacting directly with the ThemeView controller. This is directly happening with the logo and with the background image. So the user will be able to store the image or logo that they already have chosen before, and it would show instead of the Nextcloud logo once they enter the application again. The patterns used. So we used three different design patterns. The first one would be the observer pattern, as I was explaining before. The observer pattern here will be the login controller, the NC login, which observes the changes happening from the ThemeView controller and updates the UI accordingly to what the user have chosen. The decorator pattern, which in this case would be the ThemeView controller, it would be where the applied theming decorator of the UI is happening and is changing their appearance based on the customization that we send the response by the user. And then we have the building pattern, which is applied to constructing instances from the theming and various customization details. Again, the whole image view controller and the manager. So everything is interacting with each other, and these were the patterns that we were able to emphasize on. Here are the app screenshots, as you can see here. The first picture is actually how the iOS Nextcloud app looks as soon as you log in. We created the things button at the very bottom right-hand corner, and this is where the user or non-user will click on in order to change the view of this right here. So once the user clicks on things, they're redirected to this other screen that we have right here, which is called theme settings. As you can see here, we have the app slogan. We put Go Panthers because, FIU. We also have the app color right here that we can also customize. As soon as you click on it, there will be a color wheel that will pop out for the user to be able to choose whatever color they want. And then we have an app logo and a background image. So the user can upload their own picture from their own personal device. As you can see in here, we chose color and we chose the app logo to be an FIU logo that we already had stored in our phone. As soon as you click on save after you had inputted all these fields, you can see that the screen has changed and now it's customized to FIU. So this would be a server that is customized specifically for FIU students, and you want to share with your team, with your professor, or within a specific school within FIU, for example. So now we have arrived to our summary. Again, the project was presented a significant amount of contributions towards enhancing the user experience and personalization within the Nextcloud ecosystem by providing options, again, like changing the logo, the slogan, the color, the name, the background image, all of this without interacting and without interfering with each other. We also wanted to work more. The next steps would be to, for example, have the user have an experience in case they wanted to enhance it with either the light mode or dark mode within their phone. And we didn't get to that, but everything that we did was thinking of the user's needs and how it would look appealing and it would be helpful for them to show and share within their colleagues. You can also contact us with any other email addresses that you have in here. This is the link also to our GitHub repo, and we want to say thank you for this learning opportunity, and we hope you like what we presented here today. Thank you. Where is it?